Hello, gorgeous. Today we are making creamy salmon piccata with steamed asparagus and Spanish rice. So this could be the first episode on my new Hello Gorgeous site where we're going to talk about all things recovery and actually not just recovery, but anything you want to talk about. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. It could just be something I delete when I'm done with. We'll see. So, again, creamy salmon piccata. Just so you guys know in advance, this is a one-man show. So if I'm like dragging my tripod and my light and everything around the kitchen, just bear with me. That's what we're working with today. So, this is delicious. I'm selfishly doing this because I'm starving and I haven't made it in a while. So what you want to do is you want to go get from your local seafood joint, get 1 pound of salmon fillet. So it doesn't need to be anything fancy. It's about $11 a pound, I think, right now at Publix. I was fortunate. I got one big slab, which you don't always get. And can you see that? Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. How appropriate, right? Hello, gorgeous. You want to cut it. You want to cut the steak into 4 equal pieces. So this recipe is 4 servings. Before I get started, just so you know, this steamer is amazing. I went home for Easter and my mom had one, and I immediately came home and bought one, and it's wonderful. So I've got about 2 pounds of asparagus. Well, 1 pound once you cut the bottoms off, but there's 2 pounds of asparagus steaming. That's going to take about 18 minutes. And I have my Spanish rice already going, which is rice-a-roni, aisle 7. It doesn't matter. You can cut corners when you want to. The fancy part is going to be the salmon. So I'm going to take this steak and I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. And to be honest, I usually cut it into 2 because I eat one whole one. But for the sake of anyone out there who's not a hog, we'll do it like the recipe says. So, I know that this might sound a little intimidating. I am new at the whole cooking thing, so I don't expect any emerald action here. I will not be, bamming. The skin's a little thick. That's okay. Or I need a sharper knife. That's probably it. Okay, hopefully you won't struggle like this trying to cut your fish. I knew this would happen to me though, because it's my pilot series thing and Murphy's Law, right? All right, there we go. So I've got 4 little slabs. I'm just going to put some garlic powder, salt and pepper on these on both sides. A little salt. You'll notice on these videos, nothing is going to be fancy. In fact, I may not measure anything. A little pepper. Oh. And then I'm going to flip them over and do the skin side. Can't stand having stuff on my fingers. Salt and pepper. All right. Now, we are going to take a bowl of flour and we're just going to dredge these in flour. You know what? I forgot something. Got to get my pan ready. You want to have about a tablespoon of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter in a hot pan when you're ready to throw these in. So, and even, listen, I was never like a fish guy. These are so good. And you're gonna see it. This whole thing's gonna take 20 minutes. So I'm really excited about the Hello Gorgeous site. It's gonna be a wonderful place where we can, I'll share my blogs, but I don't want to, it's not going to be about me. I want to share recipes and videos. Just so you know, the recipe for this, I'll attach it to the post so that you guys have that. Got some really cool interviews with other people that I'll be doing either in person on Zoom. My first one is going to be an actress who she's in recovery, and she has a movie coming out on October 5th, I believe. So that'll be fun. She's beautiful, and I mean inside and out. And I'm just so happy, you know, that one of the coolest things is following, as exciting as my recovery journey has been, I think it's equally inspiring to see wonderful things happening in other people's lives. You know, she's gotten married and had a baby, and her career is taking off, and she's just amazing. She's just amazing. I can't wait to share that interview with you guys. But she lives in Orlando, so we're going to be Zooming, which is fine. That's something else I'll have to learn how to do, is record Zooms. All right, so far so good, right? This isn't anything out of your skill level. So I'm gonna this is where the one-man show part comes in. I'm gonna drag this whole thing over here. How fancy is that? All right, let me see if you can see me. Are we good? All right, so our pan is getting hot. I can already smell the Spanish rice. The steamer's going. This is going to be amazing. See, I wanted to have this ready to go, but we'll give it a couple of minutes just for everything to get hot. I do want to say, so when I first decided to do this, I was a little bit embarrassed about my kitchen. I didn't really want people in my kitchen because I hate the kitchen, but no apologies. When I moved in here about 3 years ago, my financial situation was very different. My career was at a very different point, and I moved in here because it had what I needed, the basics. And as my career has sort of taken off and my financial situation has gotten a lot better, I've thought about moving several times into some place where, you know, I had the fancy island and the stainless appliances and everything. And I made this recovery for me has been all about making better decisions. So I said, you know what, Matthew, because I talk to myself a lot, just stay there. And in the last couple years, I've been able to pay off all my bills. My credit score has gone from a 600 to 780. So I've just really taken care of everything else, knowing that I have everything that I need here. So maybe in 6 months from now, if Hello Gorgeous takes off or something changes, we'll be doing these from a gorgeous, get it, gorgeous, kitchen someday. That's a goal. All right. So these are going to go into the hot pan, skin side down first, for about 4 minutes on each side. You want your pan kind of medium-high heat, which makes me nervous, but you're not going to you don't want to cook the fish all the way through because that'll come later. You'll see. All right. So yeah, you know what? The kitchen, what it is. just me. When I got my teeth fixed, it was not cheap, and the payments were outrageous, and I was really worried that I'd be able to pay them off in the time frame that they gave me. And because I stayed in this little apartment with the outdated appliances and the plastic countertops, I was actually able to pay it off in less than half the time. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to use like hot dog tongs to turn this over. So back to the Hello Gorgeous site. So hopefully this will be up and running in like a week or so. We shall see. I don't know what else to talk about. This is embarrassing. So besides the interviews and the blogs and the cooking videos, there's going to be discussion boards. And again, I don't want the page to be about me, although us addicts and alcoholics love that. I really want it to be a participatory. I want you guys to get involved. So there's going to be all kinds of ways for you to comment and share your personal experiences. And if you're doing something cool in your recovery, please reach out to me and let me know. This makes me look like I'm not wearing any pants, doesn't it? Maybe I should wear jeans next time. Do you love my apron? My boss got me that. All right. This can get a little smoky if your heat's high, just because the oil in the fish, but I'm going to try not to have to turn on the vent because you don't want to listen to that. Timing is everything, and I'm going to try to do this in real time. I mean, theoretically, I guess I could have already had like the rice and asparagus done and just thrown them on the plate at the end, but this is giving you guys a sense of how long it actually takes. So just for the record, when I was given this opportunity to start Hello Gorgeous, Matt Curran, who runs Convene Communities, we were talking about what we could do and what the possibilities were and everything. And I got really, really excited and went out and spent way too much money on a GoPro and tripods and lighting and microphones, and I don't know. I'm an addict, right? So, more is better. But I got so overwhelmed and frustrated. I was actually talking with a friend of mine at work yesterday. I overwhelmed myself to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do this site. I'm not going to do Hello Gorgeous. It's too much. I don't have time. I have a job already. And I just, before anything had even happened, I was already burned out. And I reached out to Matt, and his response, his text to me was 3 words: simple, simple, simple. So I returned the GoPro and all of that fancy equipment, and we are back to my cell phone with a ring light. I don't know why I do that to myself. Please feel free to share if you do that as well. Excuse me. I don't know about you guys, but this pandemic, I think when it started, I knew in advance that it could go one of 2 ways. Either I was going to get really, really depressed because, you know, back when I was drinking, this was the sort of thing I dreamed about. Being isolated and working from home and not seeing people, and it would have been the perfect opportunity to just let my disease run rampant. So when it happened, I made a conscious decision to find things to do, to keep myself busy and not get in my head. So, I mean, some of the things have been ridiculous, but some of the things have been really purposeful and kind of given me an outlet. And it's nice being alone because the ridiculous stuff nobody knows about. But I have puzzles that I put together, and ended up like gluing and framing, and now they're hanging on my wall. I have the aquarium, which I didn't have before. And that has given me stuff to do. I've learned how to take care of plants. I've got a whole garden out on my little balcony, and I have friends that, my friend Corby, who every opportunity, she has a beautiful backyard, but she'll bring me little cuts of her plants so that I can add to my collection. Yeah, and cooking has been something too, you know. It didn't matter if I messed up. It gave me, you know, I would get excited about finding new recipes and going to the grocery store and prepping everything. All right, these just need a couple minutes. Again, you don't want to cook it all the way through, so it's supposed to still be pink in the middle. About 30 more seconds here. And then it gets moving. Hopefully, if I time this right, everything will be done at the end at the same time, and we can actually plate it up. One thing you don't want is overcooked fish. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off. See, it's getting a little smoky. I don't know if you can see that. And we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to keep this going. Now, I zested a lemon and then squeezed all the juice. So this is just one lemon zested and juiced. I'm going to go ahead. I've got my recipe right here. This is my cheat, you guys. A chip clip with duct tape. You know what? I'm just going to make it a point to tell myself just never to be embarrassed. So, we are going to add a half a cup of chicken broth. There's the smoke. Hope the fire alarm doesn't go off. The juice and zest of one lemon. And 1 or 2 tablespoons of capers. And you can use as many capers as you want. I love capers, and I just think it looks prettier at the end when every bite has a caper in it. Strangely, I actually already had capers in my refrigerator, which I could not have said 5 years ago. In preparation for this video, I'm going to let that bubble for a minute. I went out and got little ramekins for so I can be professional like Rachel Ray. Am I going to have to pay her for saying her name? Hope not. I'm not that financially stable. God, this smells so good. Fish with lemons and capers, perfection. And the best part is the creamy, if I'm being honest. Alright, so just kind of let that bubble a little bit. Then we're going to use a cup of, and just so you know, you can, instead of chicken broth, you can use a half a cup of a dry white wine. Because I'm an alcoholic in recovery, I'm not going to. I've tried before, even though people say, oh, well, the alcohol cooks off. Yeah, but I still taste it. And the monster in my head tasted it. And it wasn't worth a relapse. So I'm just going to use chicken broth. Same with I'm going to turn the heat down because we've got cream in here. Then you use a cup of either heavy cream. What's beeping? Everything at once, the steamer and the rice. That's okay. The steamer will keep warming and the rice will keep ricing. But you can use a cup of regular milk too if you want. I like the whole cream, the heavy cream rather, just because. Just because. Oh, I left the door open the whole time. All right, so we're gonna let that bubble for a couple of minutes, and then we're just gonna put the salmon back in. Let's stir the rice and see what happens. Make sure that's good to go. Gotta love rice-a-roni, you guys. And the Spanish rice, you actually put a can of the petite diced tomatoes, and I use the one that has like garlic and basil and everything in with the tomatoes. So even though it's rice-a-roni, it really, really tastes good. Again, I'm not gonna be embarrassed. It is what it is. It's still delicious. All right, my capers and cream are bubbling. Let's see the asparagus. Oh, gosh. I tell you, that steamer was the best investment ever. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It wasn't more than 50 bucks on Amazon. I have done clams. I've steamed clams in there. You can do potatoes, carrots, asparagus, lobster, anything you want. And it's so cool. I mean, you literally just set it and go. All right, I'm gonna put the fish back in. Whoa. That piece broke. Shoot, I should have used a spatula. Much better. All right. Don't look at how I'm doing this, you guys. I guess I could have just picked it up with my fingers. All right. This is where the fish finishes up cooking. I'm so excited. Can't believe I'm having this for lunch, but who cares? I want to get a little spoon or something and just kind of get that juice on top. Kind of dredge it in that cream. Not dredge, but you know what I mean. I can get some of those capers on there. Oh my goodness. This is wonderful. All right. So, I'm gonna start plating while that bubbles. Get my asparagus on the plate. This looks so good. This is working out. The only thing I'm embarrassed so far about was trying to put the fish back in the pan. I'll get over it. Get some rice on there. It's just me, so. And this is gonna be so good. I'm digging for the biggest piece. Like anyone else is here to eat with me. Ah, beautimous. Let me get some of those capers and juice on there. And there you go. Gosh, I want more capers. So there you have it, folks. Ta-da! Steamed asparagus with creamy salmon piccata and asparagus. I'm so hungry. All right, come back. I think I'm gonna do stuffed shells tomorrow. Let me know if I should record that too. All right, love you guys.